once I saw my face on the news,
Mm.
while I was on the run for 6 months,
Okay.
the very two people that I thought of was my mother and my grandmother,
Mm.
right? And
Uh-huh.
I hadn't done that before. Like I said, I'd been to prison multiple times before that.
Yeah.
But on that bed right there, because this is a more serious crime, full disclosure, I caught a second-degree murder charge.
Mm.
And so when I was on the run, I pictured their faces because they were in the church. I wasn't in the church. I stopped going to church when I was 14. I became Muslim later on.
Okay.
And so that was my transition.
Yeah.
But they still were there. And I know at that particular, I know how judgmental people can be. And I didn't want them to have to keep answering questions about me.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on with him? What's going on with him? And so my mindset began to change right then and there.
Yeah.
As well as the fact that while I was on the run, my youngest son, my baby mom was pregnant with my youngest son.
Wow.
So he became another light at the end of the tunnel for me. So even if I had for a split second been hopeless in what my direction was going to be in life, that's what gave me hope.
Wow. That's good.
Right. And so my transition began at that moment. I knew that in order for me to never come back to this place ever again, I had to do something drastic.
Yeah.
So I began to make changes within myself. I used to sit in my cell, lay on my bunk. I have conversations with myself. I still do this to the day. The best conversations I have are with myself.
Yeah.
And so I had to face a lot of ugly truths about myself, the way I was living, the way I was thinking. As street dudes, we call ourselves real niggas and we real this and real that. But a lot of the things that we doing, it's not really real. You're not being real with your woman. You're out here cheating on her. You're not being real with your kids because everything you're doing on the other side of your walls may take you away from them for the rest of their life, or it could cost them their life potentially.
That's good.
Right?
That's good. Yes,
sir. I had to have these conversations with myself and face some ugly truths on the way I treated women, the way I did everything, the way I went about my business. And so that's really where my transition came from. It's just like realizing, like, all right, man, who you gonna be?
Yeah.
What you gonna do with the rest of your life? Because it cost me a whole lot. The most valuable thing that you can lose is time, other than your life. Outside of losing your actual physical life, your time, you can never get that back.
That's good.
And throughout all of those years, I can't count on my hands, your hands, and his hands how many of my friends or homies or whoever they may have been that I lost from the time I walked in that gate up until the day of my release.
Wow.
Family members. So this tattoo on my face, this is my little cousin. He was more like my little brother. He just got murdered in 2020.
Sorry to hear that.
You know what I mean? And those are the things that you lose on that journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So about the month I got locked up, that first month is when it all kicked off. And I lost 1 to 2 to sometimes 3 every single year of that 11 years.
So you talk about full transparency, and I really appreciate you because a lot of this is educating the youth on, I say, a lot of times they're making permanent decisions on temporary emotions,
Absolutely.
right? And so you lost these people that were close to you, that you cared about. Did the prison let you go to their funerals?
Absolutely not. So when he died, I watched his funeral on a DVD. My sister and them had the funeral home, record the funeral. I sat in a little room by myself. They let me view it by myself. And I put it in a DVD player and I watched my family crying. I heard my aunt screaming. I could still hear it to this day. My mother's youngest sister, I heard her screaming, and I requested for them to sing a song at his funeral with my aunt. I come from a family full of musicians.
Okay.
And so I requested for them to sing one song that I love to hear her sing. It's called I Trade a Lifetime. And so I had to sit in this little room and watch this service by myself and grieve by myself.
Did they have any resources for you in jail to be able to help you grieve or be able to work through how you were feeling or, any of those types of things?
So they have a chaplain in every prison.
Yeah.
They may come around and say their little piece, but you don't want to hear that. You just want to be with your family.
Yeah.
There's nothing that anybody could tell you.
Yeah.
You just want to be with your family. And quite honestly, the rehabilitation process in the penitentiary it's not about rehabilitation.
What do you feel like it's about?
It's about punishment. I used to have to I've told multiple guards this while I was in there. I was sent here as a punishment, not for punishment. because they'll go out of their way. Because you have to think about the prison system, the penal system. It's the business. It's $1 billion industry.
That primarily is affecting who?
Black and brown.
Okay. And so, and we'll get it. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna circle back around to that because that's really heavy. That's good, right? And so, our prisons are being affected by decisions that our youth or men or women are making, right? And so, when you talk about, you're talking about family right now. Can you tell me a little bit more? Are you married? Do you have children?
I'm not married.
Okay.
I do have children.
Okay.
My oldest children.
How many?
So I have 2 blood children.
Okay.
A son, my youngest son, and my oldest daughter. She's 21.
21.
I haven't been a part of her life.
What's that like?
Due to my decision making as when she was a baby. You know what I mean? It took me away from her life.
So you went in and she was how old?
So she was 5 months when the situation happened that removed her from my life.
Okay.
And it's been that ever since. We don't even have a relationship with one another.
So you have a 21-year-old daughter.
My youngest son will be 12.
Okay.
And I have 3 chosen children. I've raised them since they were itty bitty. They recognize me as their pop. The oldest of them is 23, just turned 23.
Do you, and I think that's commendable. Anybody that can be in a step parent or stepfather role is an amazing thing.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna circle back just a little bit though to your oldest though. You say that that she's not a part of your life at all right now. How does that impact you right now?
It has been a weight on my back, chest, shoulders, head since the year 2002. Right? Well, 2003 when the situation happened. It's another reason why I began to look at myself, right? Because in hopes that one day she would see me as the man I am now versus who people told her I was.
How do you feel like people would describe you?
They would demonize me.
Demonize
They would demonize me. I was bad news. I was really trouble outside. I was bad news outside.
Do you blame them?
I I don't. A lot of it was conjured up things, speculation, but I didn't give them any reason not to speculate. You know what I mean? I made it easy for them to speculate.
Yeah.
Some things they knew, some things they thought they knew, but that was by my own doing.
Yeah. I'm a branch off just for a quick second here. And you say you have a daughter and y'all don't have a relationship. If she was watching, there's a camera right there. If she was watching right now, and this is the first time that maybe she's seen you since you've been out, right? Is there a message that you would like to give her? If you just want to look at that camera right there and just talk to her for just a little bit and tell her something.
So I would tell you, McKeithen, that I love you first and foremost. Secondly, I would apologize for the mistakes that I made that took me out of your life and left you with a void, questioning and wondering. I know some of the things that you've accomplished in your life just due to secondhand information, and I'm proud of you. The people that raised you, they did a great job. So I commend them for that. But I would also want you to know that the mistakes that I made before as a man, as a young man, aren't the mistakes that I make today as a grown man. So I would hope that you would see me in the light that I am now versus who they may have told you that I was back then. And again, I love you.
That's powerful, bro. As a man to be able to apologize for his actions. It's not saying that we've done this thing right or we're perfect or whatever, but to be able to have ownership of that, I think is powerful. And I pray that you and your daughter's relationship is restored because of that.
Thank you for listening and join the movement at Let's Talk Shop. We are changing the community one conversation at a time. If you want more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share our page at Let's Talk Shop KC. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Until next time.